The trial no one could beat. The hall was vast, cold, and quiet. Hundreds of eyes from different species stared at the glowing sphere in the center. Above it, the words "Galactic Trial of Ascension" floated in golden letters. Every race in the galaxy knew about this test. It was said to unlock access to the highest tier of knowledge and power. But no one had ever passed it. The trial was ancient. It came from a long-lost civilization whose name had been erased by time. Every year, the Council of Worlds sent their best minds and warriors to attempt it. And every year, the trial rejected them. Brains melted. Bodies collapsed. Some even disappeared entirely. No one understood why. This year, the line of hopefuls stretched again. Tall reptilians with thick armor stood near insectoids with glittering wings. A proud avian commander stepped forward, entered the glowing ring, and placed his claw on the sphere. Within seconds, his feathers burned and his mind screamed. He fell, lifeless, as medics dragged him away. A low hum went through the room. Another failure. Dozens more tried. All failed. The crowd began to murmur. Whispers filled the chamber. Some said the trial was fake. Others believed it was meant to kill. Many thought only a god could pass it. Then a quiet voice spoke from the back. "I'll try." Heads turned. A young human stepped forward. He wore a plain jacket and simple boots. No weapons. No armor. Just calm eyes and a steady walk. The council official frowned. "You are human." The human nodded. "Names?" "Leo." A few aliens chuckled. One large beast-like warrior sneered. "You? Your kind hasn't even been here 100 years." Leo ignored them. He stepped into the circle. The floor glowed blue beneath his feet. The sphere pulsed brighter as he approached. Everyone fell silent. He placed his hand on the sphere. It lit up instantly. The chamber filled with a blinding white light. For a moment, all could see images flashing above the sphere, symbols, numbers, patterns, moving too fast for anyone to follow. Leo didn't move. His eyes were open. Focused. Calm. 10 seconds passed. 20. 30. The light faded. The chamber fell into darkness. Then, slowly, the sphere turned golden. A soft chime echoed. "The trial is complete." Gasps. The official stumbled back. He passed it. Leo stepped away from the sphere. His face was pale but steady. He didn't say a word. He just looked around. Everyone stared at him. A voice rang out from the walls. "Old, ancient, powerful, one has passed. The path is open. The next age begins." The council chamber shook. Walls shifted. Doors opened. Holograms appeared in the air, showing maps, technologies, and energy forms never seen before. The aliens were stunned. Some knelt. Some just stood. Frozen. Leo turned to the council. "I think your test is broken." It was easy. Then he walked out. The council's panic. After Leo walked out of the trial chamber, the room stayed silent for several long seconds. Then chaos exploded. Council members shouted over one another. Some ran toward the holograms, trying to understand what had just been unlocked. Others rushed to scan the sphere, hoping to record what happened. Leaders from dozens of species stared in disbelief, whispering, arguing, and trembling. "How did a human pass it?" One of them said aloud. "He did it in seconds. No one has ever survived longer than 5. Did he cheat?" Council leader Damar, a gray-scaled elder with thick ridges across his head, slammed his staff on the ground. Silence. The hall grew quiet again. "He did not cheat," Damar said, breathing heavily. "The trial accepted him. You all saw it." "But what does it mean?" asked another council member. "What happens now?" Before Damar could answer, a small drone floated over, blinking with urgent signals. It was from the inner vaults. Only emergency messages came from there. The drone spoke in a calm voice. "The vault of forbidden knowledge has been unlocked. Level Omega. Human Leo is now authorized." Every being in the chamber froze. Omega level knowledge was sealed for thousands of years. Even the council wasn't allowed to access all of it. It contained data from the first civilization, technology that could reshape entire worlds or destroy them. Damar looked pale. We must find him. Outside the chamber, Leo was walking through the grand halls of the council's central city. Alien guards and staff stared as he passed. Some whispered. A few stepped aside quickly, afraid. Others looked at him with something close to awe. Leo wasn't interested in attention. His mind was still processing what he had seen during the trial. Images, codes, voices, too fast, too complex, but his brain had understood it. Somehow it felt like remembering something. He muttered to himself. He reached a quiet balcony and stood there, looking out over the city. Ships moved silently through the sky. Towers touched the clouds. It was all beautiful, but something felt wrong. He had felt it inside the trial. A message hidden deep within the knowledge. A warning, they will fear you now. Leo took a breath. He could still feel the energy inside him. Whatever the trial had unlocked, it was still active. He didn't know how long it would last or what it would do. Behind him, footsteps echoed. A tall alien approached. Blue skin, sharp eyes, formal robes. A diplomat. I am Rin, the being said calmly. The council has sent me to speak with you. Leo turned slightly. They want to ask how I passed. Rin nodded. Yes. And what you saw? Leo thought. For a moment. I saw doors. Hundreds of them. Some were locked. Others opened when I looked at them. And behind one was something waiting. Rin looked uneasy. What kind of something? Leo stared at him. I think it was human. But older. Stronger. Watching. Like it knew I would come. There was a long silence, then Rin said, You've started something today. Something no one expected. Leo nodded. Oh no. From the sky, council ships began circling the building. Guards formed a perimeter. Rin looked alarmed. They don't trust you, Leo. I wouldn't either, Leo replied. Then he turned back toward the sky. They are scared. But they should be more scared of what's coming. The truth buried in light. The council's chamber had become a war room. Dozens of screens showed images of Leo walking through the capital. Ships tracked his location. Council forces were on standby. Some suggested he should be detained immediately. Others argued that provoking him could lead to disaster. He accessed Omega-level knowledge in seconds, Council Leader Damar said, voice tight. We don't even know what he's carrying in his head now. He's human, one general snapped. Their kind should never have reached this point. They barely joined the galaxy a few decades ago, another spat. What gives them the right? Damar raised a hand. Enough. If we act out of fear, we might trigger what we're trying to avoid. Across the room, a scientist from the archives stood up. Her voice was quiet but firm. I've reviewed the records from the trial. The system scanned Leo's DNA. The trial didn't just accept him, it recognized him. Like he belonged to the builders. The room went still. You're saying he's one of them? Not exactly. But something in his biology, it matches the markers of the ancients. That hit harder than a weapon blast. The ancients were a mystery. The first race. The builders of the galaxy's most advanced systems. Long gone. No known descendant. No clear history, until now. Damar stood slowly. If this is true, Leo may not just be a threat. He might be a key. Leo sat alone in the high library, an open space with glowing walls, endless digital shelves, and a pulsing orb in the center. After the trial, doors had opened for him. Literally. Security fields fell. As he walked, locked archives glowed and parted. The orb ahead now floated, projecting an ancient star map. Leo traced it with his fingers. This star, it's not on any chart I've seen, he whispered. The orb responded in a language no one should have known. But Leo understood it, homeworld of the Prime. Last beacon, extinguished. More symbols spun around him. Fragments of forgotten knowledge. Bioengineered planets, machines that lived and ruled, galactic codes written in DNA. Leo felt a burning in his chest. Like something was waking inside him. Not pain, but purpose. Then a new voice echoed. Inside the chamber, you should not be here. Leo turned sharply. A projection flickered into view. Humanoid, tall, glowing faintly with gold light. Not alive, but aware. It spoke again. You are the first of your kind to awaken the vault. The first to survive the trial. That means the pattern has returned. Leo stepped closer. What pattern? The spark of the prime. Buried in your kind. Sleeping for eons. We left the trial to find it. And now it speaks again, through you. Leo's heart pounded. You're saying humans are connected to the ancients. The figure nodded. Not all. But some. And now that you've passed the trial, they will come. Others who remember. The prime. Some will seek peace. Others will seek destruction. Why me? Leo asked. Because you opened the door. The projection faded, leaving the star map burning bright. Back in the council chamber, alarms began to flash. A new ship had entered the system. It was not from any known species. It was massive. Black as the void. Silent, and it was heading straight for Leo's location. The arrival. The black ship drifted into orbit without a sound. It had no markings. No transponder codes. No answer to hails. It ignored council warnings and slipped past the orbital guard as if they weren't even there. Energy readings were off. The charts. Every scanner failed to get a clear read. Inside the council war room, panic took hold. It's heading toward the vault, shouted one officer. Defensive grid is useless. It's like the ship isn't even touching space. Another cried. Damar clenched the edge of the table. Evacuate the area. Now. And get Leo out of there. No, said a soft voice behind him. It was Rin, the blue-skinned diplomat. Damar turned. What? Rin's eyes were calm. Leo's the reason the ship is coming. If we take him away, we might provoke it. You're suggesting we let him face it alone. I'm suggesting we trust him. Damar hesitated, then gave a quiet nod. Inside the vault library, Leo stood alone beneath the ancient star map. The glowing symbols now pulsed red. Warning signs. The orb buzzed with strange energy, and the air felt heavy, like the universe was holding its breath. Then the ceiling above him opened, not physically, but with a shimmering ripple in space. From it descended a single figure. It was tall, twice the height of any human, with smooth metallic skin that shifted in color as it moved. Its face was blank, yet somehow aware. No mouth. No eyes. But Leo could feel its gaze. It landed soundlessly. For a moment, they simply stared at each other. Then, the being spoke, not with words, but through Leo's mind. So, you are the one. Leo didn't move. What are you? We are what came before. And what remains after. I am the keeper. I guard the spark. Leo took a slow step forward. Then why are you here? Because you lit the flame. The keeper gestured, and the holographic star map zoomed in on a dark region of space. A swirling void. Others will come now. Hunters. Sleepers. Seekers. The trial was a lock. You broke it. They heard the sound. Leo frowned. And what happens next? The keeper tilted its head. That depends on you. Energy formed around the keeper's hand, a small orb, golden and pulsing like a heartbeat. It floated toward Leo, who instinctively raised his hand. The orb touched his palm and vanished inside him. A wave of heat surged through Leo's chest. His breath caught. The vault around him responded. Lights changed. Symbols reformed. The keeper's voice echoed again. You are now the voice of the prime. Use it wisely, or the stars will burn again. Then the keeper vanished, gone as quickly as it had come. From orbit, the black ship rose again, silent and untouched. It turned slowly, then shot into the void, faster than light, leaving no trace behind. In the council chamber, the screens went blank. The threat was gone, but silence remained. Leo stepped out of the vault. The guards outside froze, unsure whether to bow or run. Leo looked calmer now, but different. More grounded. More aware. Rin approached him slowly. What happened? In there. Leo looked up at the sky. I think I was chosen. Or maybe warned. By who? Leo shrugged. Something older than this galaxy. Rin paused. And what did it say? Leo glanced at him. That more are coming. And I'm supposed to stop them. Rin blinked. You're just one man. Leo gave a half smile. Not anymore. What woke in the deep the next few days were filled with confusion across the galaxy. Every major news channel showed the same image, a human walking calmly out of the vault. Of ascension, alive, unchanged on the outside, but carrying power no one could measure. Rumors spread fast. Some called Leo a chosen one. Others said he was a weapon. The council tried to keep things quiet, but it was too late. Something had shifted, and everyone felt it. In a far-off sector of space. Beyond any explored territory, an old machine opened its eyes for the first time in 50,000 years. Its body was rusted, floating inside a dead satellite. But when the vault was unlocked, a signal had reached even this graveyard of metal and bone. The machine's mind awoke slowly. Its memory was damaged. But one purpose remained: find the voice. Protect the Prime. Or destroy it. It pulled itself free from the wreckage, reconnected to forgotten systems, and began transmitting. Others heard it. Across the stars, similar machines stirred, and they were all heading in one direction, toward human space. Leo was already moving. He didn't want fame. He didn't want a title. But deep inside, he could feel the pressure building, like something huge was watching him now. He traveled alone to a quiet moon near Earth's outer colonies. There, in an old research station, he opened the new files he had unlocked from the vault. They weren't just knowledge, they were instructions. Blueprints. Defense grids. Bioweapons. Artificial star cores. But one thing stood out among all of it, a single word in red: Sentinels. He followed the path deeper. It showed hundreds of sleeping machines across the galaxy. Guardians. Ancient defenders from the time of the first race. Most were offline. But some were waking up. And not all of them were friendly. A whisper echoed in Leo's mind: not all Prime became protectors. Some became destroyers. Leo leaned back in the chair, breathing slowly. I need help. He opened a secure channel. It took time, but finally, a voice answered Leo. Is that really you? It was Maya, an old friend. Human. Smart. Tough. She had once been part of Earth's science force before leaving for the outer colonies. I need you, Leo said simply. The whole galaxy might. Her reply came fast. Where do I land? On Council World. Panic returned. Reports were coming in from dozens of sectors. Ancient ships, black, silent, and deadly, were entering known space. Some destroyed patrols without warning. Others simply scanned and moved on. The council gathered in secret. We should have stopped the human when we had the chance, one shouted, and triggered a war we'd lose, another replied. He might be the only thing holding this together. Council leader Damar sat quietly. He has the spark of the ancients, Damar finally said. But even they had enemies. Enemies we buried and hoped would never return. Another voice trembled. But they are coming now. Damar looked toward the stars. Then we must decide quickly: do we fight against him or beside him? Asterisk. Allies, enemies, and the line between the stars above Earth's moon were quiet, but Leo knew better. Something was coming. Inside the research station, Maya worked quickly beside him. Screens filled the walls: maps, ship paths, decoded messages, and flashes of ancient tech. She hadn't asked too many questions. That's why Leo had called her. 3 unknown vessels just entered the Helix sector, she said, pointing. No transponder, no signal, just like the one that came for you. Leo nodded. Those aren't allies. They are hunting me, or what I carry now. Maya leaned back. And what do you carry? Leo hesitated. I'm not sure. But the Vault called it the voice of the Prime. Does that make you a leader? A weapon? A key? Maybe all three, he said quietly. Suddenly, a proximity alarm rang out. A ship was approaching, fast. Maya ran to the outer camera. It's not Council. It's Terran military. A sleek human cruiser landed just outside. Its black hull gleamed under the moonlight. A squad of armored soldiers stepped out, but not with weapons raised. Leading them was a short man with a grizzled face and a long coat. "Name's Ray," he said to Leo, shaking his hand firmly. "Command says you stirred up the galaxy." Leo raised an eyebrow. "They sent you to stop me." "Stop you?" Ray laughed. "No. They sent me to ask one question." Leo waited. Ray continued, "Do we stand a chance?" Leo stared at him for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Yes. But not without unity." Ray looked around. "We've been getting strange signals. Ships we can't identify. Councils pointing fingers. Some worlds already think you are the threat." "I'm not," Leo said. "But what's coming will make everything else look small." Ray paused. "Then you better start leading. Earth's waiting." For a way, the Council watched the same footage, Leo meeting with Earth forces, shaking hands, forming plans. "This is dangerous," one member hissed. "If humans unite the galaxy behind them, our influence is finished." Damar raised his head. "Then we must do what's right, not what protects our pride." Another councillor laughed bitterly. "You trust a Deathworld species with galactic keys?" Damar stood. "I trust the truth. And the truth is, Leo passed a test none of us could. If he is what the Vault believes, then he is not just a human, he is something more." Meanwhile, on a dark world with no name, black ships gathered in orbit. Inside their lead vessel stood a being that no longer remembered its own origin. Covered in ancient armor, its voice echoed through the walls like thunder. "The voice has awakened," it growled. "We were promised silence." One of its lieutenants bowed. "Shall we strike?" "No. We gather. We remember. And when the moment is right, we burn the stars." Back on the moon, Leo stood atop a metal platform overlooking the Earth. Maya stepped beside him. "They are listening now. Not just Earth. Other races too. Your voice is being heard across the stars." Leo closed his eyes. "I didn't want this. But maybe. I was built for it." Then he turned to Maya and Ray. "Call every world that will listen. Every species. Friend or enemy. Tell them the truth, we don't have time to fight each other. The galaxy's past is coming back, and it remembers everything." Asterisk. The trial was only the beginning. Across the galaxy, the call echoed. Leo's message, broadcast in every known language, traveled faster than light. It passed through old trade routes, abandoned colonies, and ancient battlefields. On some worlds, it was met with hope. On others, with fear. But one thing was certain, the galaxy was no longer the same. In the Terran system, fleets began to move. Not for war, at least, not yet, but for defense. Ships from allied species docked beside human cruisers. Engineers shared data. Scientists decoded fragments from the vault. Even bitter rivals agreed to speak. On a council moon far away, leaders of over 100 species gathered for an emergency session. Leo was present, his image beamed into the hall. "I don't ask you to trust me," he said. "I ask you to trust what you saw. Something ancient is coming. It doesn't want territory or power. It wants silence. It wants to erase everything." Council leader Damar rose slowly. "And you? What do you want?" Leo didn't hesitate. "A chance to fight back. Together." There was silence. Then, slowly, one by one, representatives stood. Some raised their fists. Others lifted ceremonial blades or symbols of peace, but all agreed they would fight. On the edge of known space, the enemy moved. Thousands of black ships emerged from void tunnels, not like an army, but like a wave. A living storm. Machines merged with flesh. Weapons built from star cores. No communication. No demands, only motion. The first worlds to face them disappeared within hours, not conquered, erased. Leo stood aboard the Terran flagship Resolve, now serving as the center of the United Fleet. Beside him, Maya tapped rapidly through data streams. They are not following any normal battle pattern. It's like they are reacting to something deeper, like instinct. Or memory, Leo said. Ray stepped forward from the command console. "We've set up the defense grid. Fleet's ready. We've even got a few surprises from that vault tech of yours. Leo nodded, but his eyes were focused on the stars. He could feel something. Just beyond sight. Watching. Waiting. Then the signal came. The same voice that had spoken in the vault now returned, echoing in Leo's mind like a whisper wrapped in thunder. This is the second trial. Leo's heartbeat slowed. The crew stared at him, unsure what had changed. He looked out the viewing glass. The enemy was here. A massive shadow unfolded across the stars. A ship? A beam? It was hard to tell. But it blocked out suns. Leo took a deep breath. This is it. Ray raised an eyebrow. Orders, Captain. Leo's voice was calm, steady. Activate the gate cannons. Set formation Theta 1. And tell every ship, do not fall back. This time, we hold. Maya turned. Even if it costs everything. Leo nodded. We pass this trial, or we disappear. The first wave hit like fire. Space burned. Shields flared. Ships shattered, but the line held. Humans fought side by side with insectoid flyers, crystal-boned warriors, and massive four-armed brutes. Fleet after fleet joined in. The stars roared with battle, and at the center of it all, Leo stood still, eyes glowing faintly, a silent force pulling data, vision, and energy from systems older than time. He didn't just command. He connected. When the enemy sent a final spike of energy to tear reality apart, Leo raised one hand, and it bent away like wind around stone. The voice returned one last time. The Prime has returned. The test is passed. The enemy vanished, not destroyed, but stopped. The wave receded. The black ships folded into dust. The shadow beyond the stars pulled back into silence. The galaxy breathed again. Later, on a quiet world covered in green fields, Leo stood beside Maya and Ray. You think it's over? Maya asked softly. Leo looked up at the stars. No, he said. But it's begun. She smiled. What do we call this new era? Leo thought for a moment, then replied, the Age of Unity. And with that, humanity's greatest trial became the galaxy's greatest beginning. Asterisk.